What is going on, guys? Welcome back to BMF Radio. My name is Frankie.
I'm Billy.
And I'm Manny.
So the new Murder at Karlov Manor, is that the right name?
Yeah.
Did I get it right? So that set just dropped. So today we're going to be talking about the top 3 cards that we have seen in the set. Obviously, this is subject to opinion. You might find a card that is really good in Golgari that you are just like, man, this is cracked. Let us know in the comments if we missed it. We want to hear these. We want to talk about it.
Yeah.
But this is just going to be kind of our opinion on why these cards are good. And 2 of them are reprints. And so might be cards you've heard of, but we're still going to go over them because it's been a while since these cards have gotten a reprint.
Yeah.
And they're really good.
Right.
So let's get into our 3rd slot.
Yeah, number 3. Duskana, the Rage Mother.
Okay.
I'm so bad with these card names, bro.
They keep getting more and more complex.
Okay, when this card enters the battlefield, draw a card for each creature you control with a base power and toughness 2/2.
Wow.
That's
And
the
now,
first
this
ability.
is a new card, right? Can I see it?
Yeah.
This is a new card in the set?
Yes, this is a new card. It's a bear creature.
Okay.
So bear tribal, hell yeah. I guess. I don't know. And then the other ability, when a creature you control with base power toughness 2/2 attacks, it gets +3/+3 until end of turn.
Wow. Okay. And now something to think about as well. It's 2 colorless and then a red, a green, and a white.
Yeah.
So very open in terms of like compatibility with colors.
Mm-hmm.
That's really strong.
Okay, yeah.
My only, I guess, complaint, and this is why we put it at 3rd, is it's really powerful ability, in my opinion, is the drawing cards.
Yes.
And that's a 1 trigger. That's a one-time trigger.
Yeah, that's very true.
But
Yeah.
it has white in its color identity.
Mm-hmm.
So white is definitely a color where it's not nearly as hard. I mean, blue is the best, but it's not nearly as hard with white to blink creatures in and out.
Okay.
So you could definitely, trigger the ETB on this card quite a few times if that's what you're going for.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, it's still a really good one-off ability.
Yeah. Bear tribal, because I assume that's what this is. Do bears have a lot of 2/2s?
Bears have a lot of tokens that can be 2/2s,
Mhm.
and that's definitely where I think this card's going to be going. If you want to build with this, is
I was going to
token
say,
spam.
Right.
to go through your deck and try to make sure that most of your creatures are only 2/2s
Yeah,
is going to be kind of hard because
Yeah.
you really only want to cast this when you have a good amount of 2/2s out
Right.
because you want to draw as many cards as possible when this comes out.
Yeah.
It's good. I think it's good. But there's a reason it's at 3
exactly.
because
Yeah.
this could be a commander for sure
Yeah.
if you wanted for I guess bear tribal, but bear tribal I think is also kind of hard to make.
It's not easy. Yeah.
But it could just go into a deck as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is definitely a card I think would be really good in the 99 rather than the commander. It's a strong one to maybe tutor for, but I still think it's viable as a commander. I mean, this
Yeah.
is something, you've got green in the color identity, so the 5-drop is not as big of a problem, and it's a 5/5, and if you've got, let's say 4 2/2s up on turn 4, and you cast this, that's a lot of heavy dick coming your
True.
way on turn 4.
Yeah, and I was just thinking there's a lot of like the knights 2/2 with vigilance.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of those. And if
Wilds
you're
of Eldraine has
Yeah.
a bunch of shit that spams 2/2s out.
and if you're spamming 2/2s with vigilance and they get +3/+3 when they attack, okay.
That's a lot
I'm
of
changing
shit.
my mind a little bit on this card.
Yeah,
This is
and that's
pretty
not to
decent.
mention, you've got, if you're casting this on turn 5, you're doing something wrong. You're not fully utilizing that green symbol
Yeah.
in the card.
Right.
So let's say you cast this turn 3 or 4, which that's not impossible to do if you're playing a little bit more competitively.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got 1 or 2 mana left over where creatures you control have trample or infect or death touch, or there's a
True.
lot of shit that could really be. I think this is a very explosive commander,
Yeah.
especially, let's say you've got one card that's like creatures you control get trample. But when he enters, you just drew 4.
Yeah.
So that opens that up, right?
Yeah.
I think that it could be very explosive, but if you don't pretty much win on the turn that you get him out, you could definitely regret it.
Yeah.
It's something that could be shut down pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's why it's at 3. Let us know what you guys think about that card.
Yeah, I guess
It's good.
Yeah,
It's a new card, so we wanted to throw it in there because we didn't want it to just be reprints.
Mhm.
But
and the price on this one? Do you guys want? Do you want to guess or?
for this card, I see the potential with it, but I don't think it's going to be seeing a lot of play.
Okay.
I guess I don't think it could be anything higher than 375.
Okay.
I think I think the problem is it's a 5/5 and a 5-drop, so it's not awful. But I feel like every time I see one of these cards, they're never more than like 84 cents.
Yeah.
Is what I feel like.
This isn't anything that screams high value to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it looks like it's going to be about $180, $2 ish range, but it did just come out, so
Yeah,
that
I see
price
that
could
dropping
fall.
to closer to what
Yeah,
you're saying.
I
Manny.
agree. I
Probably
agree.
around 80 cents.
All right. Do we want to go to our number 2?
Yeah.
All right.
Number 2 pick.
Number 2, a reprint. I don't remember the original series because I don't actually think I know, but we have Seedborn Muse, a 5-drop green creature, 3 colorless, 2 green, 2/4, and its text reads: untap all permanents you control during each other player's untap step.
Oh yeah, I know this
Huh.
card.
Yeah.
This is a great card. Untap all permanents you control during each player's untaps. I mean, so really, this is an unwinding clock for everything.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like a card I have that's banned.
Yeah. I
That-
wish I remember the name of it.
I know. It does give everything flash, all creatures flash as well, and it's a 4-drop. So,
Yes, and that's
okay.
where the problem lies.
Yeah.
Because untapping your lands and permanents each turn is one thing, but then being able to cast all of your shit on top of that, like on everyone's turn, that's really powerful. And I know that the ban list, the reason, like the kind of the way they try to think about it with Commander is just things that aren't really fun to play against.
Right.
Something like that. I'm playing fucking, green, blue, and all of a sudden my turn is my turn. Your turn is my turn. Your turn is my turn. Holy fuck. So I can understand that.
I guess.
This isn't as bad.
However, I have a land. It's 2-drop and tap the land, and you can cast spells as though they had flash.
Sure.
And
But
you're
do you-
untapping it on each player's turn.
All your lands are just that land.
Just that land.
So exactly. But the difference between the one you were saying is you untap everything, and then everything is flash.
Yes, but I would argue that's weaker because it's all on one creature. You get rid of both by killing that creature or exiling it. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
but you still get that. You still get, when you play that card, you still get that time to say, "Oh, it's your turn," but let me use all my mana and play all my cards real quick.
Yeah.
It is also something to think about with something like that is if I tutor for any card, what's the likelihood you're going to go tutor for a land? Right? Now, searching for
Yeah,
a
true.
land card, like if it says search for a land card, oh, great, I can go get a non-basic land. That
Yeah.
I'm going to go get that.
Yeah.
But those are harder to find. Finding something that'll tutor for a just land.
True.
Whereas if it tutors for anything, you're probably not going to go get that land.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not nearly as
Broken.
Yeah, I think, and something like that too, where untap all permanents and all that in Flash, that's going to see a lot of play, and it's going to become a problem.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely true.
This, it has the same drawbacks like you're saying of that. It's a creature, pretty
Mhm.
easy to deal with, get rid of. But if you don't, then he can, I don't know. And it's green too. So if you're playing green blue, yeah, you might be able to play a couple counters or something, but you could have done that anyhow, most likely. This is just, I don't know. It's really good.
Yeah, this card is really good.
I could see this having a high value.
I'm just mad because I have the card.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But this card is really good. I don't really think that we need to explain too much on it. I mean, you can see why we put it there.
Yeah, it's a
Untapping everything.
it's a pretty simple card and a really good card at that as well for being how simple it is.
Yeah, I mean, this is, especially in its color identity, it being green, you're gonna probably use this just to really give everything vigilance.
Yeah,
and
true.
a couple like interaction spells like giving this
Yeah,
indestructible
instants
or
and-
+3.
Yeah.
So I think it's really fucking good.
Yeah.
If
So-
this gets out on the board and it's not dealt with pretty quick, it's
Yeah.
gonna become the problem on the
Yes.
board.
Yeah.
Very
for
strong card.
sure. For sure. Yeah. But I like it's only a 2/4. And
Mhm.
for 5 mana, It's kind of a weak creature for 5 mana.
Plenty of burn spells that'll get rid of this quick and easy.
The dragon you play recently, the one that when it enters, it deals 5 damage to something as you choose.
Yeah,
So
bunch of dragons.
there you go.
Exactly. Yeah.
But very strong. I mean, like I said, I don't think we need to explain to you why this card is good, unless you've never played Magic before, which this is not the video for you.
Yeah.
But this is a reprint. What is the current price at now?
Well, what do you guys think it's at so far? With a reprint and its current ability.
Honestly, I could see this doing a lot of infinites, possibly, maybe, or a lot of just like game-ending plays. So I would guess maybe I'm gonna guess pretty high at 20.
Sure.
Huh?
I would see it being around that before the reprint. This is one of those cards that, unlike our number 3 spot, this is one of those cards where it doesn't have a lot of text because it doesn't need to.
Yeah.
It's strong, just period. So I think, before reprint, probably around there is what I would expect it to be. Now that I got a reprint, which I don't know for sure. Do any of you guys know if this is in any of the pre-cons that came out with this set?
I don't think it.
It might be.
Might be.
There's a chance it's in the I want to say it's the green. Red, blue?
The deep clue sea.
Yeah, something like that.
I think
Blue.
Yeah. Green, blue, white.
Oh.
So a lot of interaction on those might be in there.
Yeah.
I would say 15 after reprint.
Currently this card is sitting at about $8, close to $9 almost. So
Dang. I might have to pick this one up.
Yeah, big jump from the our number 3 spot, but damn, that's a lot more valuable.
Yeah.
And I can see why.
Yeah, for sure.
It is a reprint, so I guess that makes
it was
sense.
reprinted for a reason.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that's one thing I just want to say about the set in general. I think this is the most high value reprints we've seen in the pre-cons and the set alone. Lost Caverns of Ixalan, the Blood Vampire deck, that one had Exquisite Blood.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were talking about that earlier.
Yes, on the way over here, we were actually talking about that.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing to see. A expensive card getting finally a reprint, and they did that amazingly with this set.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys are kind of entering Magic and you're wondering what commander deck to really start with, you will not regret buying one of these pre-cons down the line or down the road.
No way.
Once you start, building your own decks and playing shit and ripping things apart, you're gonna be like, wow, this was in the pre-con.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Seriously.
and just to go off that, when they announced this set, I went through and I tried to find the pre-con card list to just see any of the pre-cons you buy. If the price sits at $50, like they usually do, you are at least doubling your money with all of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes. 100. Even if you take, which I got this information from the professor, which you guys probably know him. Great content creator. I think he's a little cringy, but I watch him still.
You play Magic, you got to be a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you got to be a little
right.
cringy. Not us,
but
though.
yeah, even if you take the bulk out of these decks and just leave the $1 and above cards, you're still getting more than double your value.
Yeah.
And don't buy these. If they're marking it up to 60, 65, 70,
That's
not
yeah.
worth it.
Uh-uh.
You can probably find this online for 45.
Yes.
Our local game store is selling it for 50, so don't buy these at high prices. But it's really cool to see that the Wizards of the Coast are putting these high wanted reprints in these pre-cons.
Yeah.
It's really impressive.
When Edgar Markov, you know what I'm saying?
I'm waiting, dude.
I know you're itching.
I might just do it. Going on to our number 1 pick for the cards you can find in this set, Jessica's Will.
Yeah.
I don't think if you know Magic and you recognize that card, I don't think you're going to be surprised that that's why we, what we put at number 1.
Right.
So this is a 3-drop card, 2 colorless and a red. It's a sorcery, and I'll read the text. Choose one. If you control a commander as you cast this spell, you may choose both. That's always scary text.
Yes. 100%.
The first mode, is add 1 red mana for each card in target opponent's hand. That's the big hitter. The other option is exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may play them this turn. That is, it's an ability. It's there.
Right.
But that's something we see on plenty of 3-drop red cards.
Right.
Right. Nothing fancy. The real power of this is, first, it's low cost, and the ability, the rate of return that you can get with this, if you can cast it early.
Oh, yeah.
Turn 3 or 4, it's still a good card. You're still probably going to get more mana than you spent for it. But if you can, play a mana, we're talking a little bit higher profile decks, but this is something that can take your deck from EDH to CDH.
For
pretty
sure.
quickly.
Yes.
This is the type of card where if you stick it in a mono red or even a multicolor, even in a guild deck, this is a card where if it's in that deck, you're going to have a hard time telling people, oh, it's just a 7. My deck is just a 7. This is one of those cards that can
Bump it
alone
up.
change
For
the
sure.
power level of your
Oh,
deck.
yeah.
If you, play a red
God.
mana and then mana crypt. Now this is a cracked hand, but you can play red mana crypt, tap those, and play this turn 1. We've all got 7 cards in our hand. 7 red mana is a dangerous thing in a mono red deck on turn 1. You're probably emptying your hand.
Yeah.
Really. Casting your commander with a couple mana left over. This is a big
Nasty.
card. This was really sought after. Sees a lot of play.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, this is our number 1. When we saw this, we were just, looking at it when the set came out. We saw Jessica's Will, and we were all astonished
Yeah.
that this was in this set in a precon.
In a precon, dude.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's seriously insane.
This is the card I would compare to like Exquisite Blood,
Yeah.
where it's like, damn, it's a high value card.
Damn,
to just,
they put this in there?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really have much more to say about the card.
Rip blue players.
Yeah.
Anybody got no max hand size?
Yeah.
Concede.
Yeah.
Concede.
Seriously. It's a really big play. And like you're saying, yeah, even in later turns, if you can catch someone at the right spot, this is still a really strong fucking card.
Exactly.
Do
Do we say more? Do we
I know.
need more?
I don't feel like we need to. I mean, if you know Magic, you know why it's good. If you
Seriously.
don't, we just explained it.
Yeah.
So
Word.
that's our number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Now there is a bunch more
A ton more.
in this set. We highly encourage you to go look them up and see. This set, I think, is one of the most worth sets that's come out.
Yeah. I agree.
In past years.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm definitely considering picking up the black blue precon.
Really?
That has some correct reprints in it.
Really?
Yes.
Do you know any of them?
Off the top of my head, yeah, reanimate.
Oh man, yeah. I
one
just
drop.
built a Golgari deck that would love to see that card.
Yeah.
I wanted to pick it up a while ago,
Mhm.
but reanimate was at the time. I think it was like $23 when I first wanted it.
We didn't talk about this one's price. Also.
Yeah. So I've looked at Jessica's Will recently. When I wanted to buy it, it was around $26, $24.
Okay. Before this reprint.
Yeah, before the reprint. I mean, this is not only, is this a reprint in the packs, but this is just in your precons.
Yep.
So that's massive.
That's true.
That's very accessible. A lot of Jessica's Wills just got printed, like a lot.
a ton. Yeah.
And that affects the price heavily, which is great to
Right.
see.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping this card isn't more than $13, $14 now.
Yeah.
That's where I put that.
I'd probably put this at well, since it just got printed, I don't know, actually.
It's not a new card.
Right.
It's not like the our top or our
Or
third
number 3.
spot
Yeah.
where it's going to go down. I think the price that we put it at, or they put it at now, is going to be the new standard. Pretty close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would guess around $9.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm putting it probably around 13 to 15. I think is a good place for it.
Yeah. So that's where I thought too, around that price. It's actually going for $11.80 on TCG right now.
So
about $12.
Okay.
You might see it drop a little bit, as people get it more, but a beautiful price for a card like this.
Yeah.
Like we said, this is a card that can take your deck from a 7 to an 8 pretty quickly with a couple other changes.
Yeah, and I think if you're running red, throw this bitch in there.
Yeah, 100%. Something we're definitely doing, we're not going to be buying these precons to play the precons. We're just going to be buying this for the reprints in these decks. They're really powerful. They're great reprints.
Yeah.
It's good to see Magic,
Yeah,
Hinting.
thanks, Magic.
Yeah, we appreciate you. If you could just drop the Modern Horizons price, that'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously.
That's all we got for today. That was our top 3 picks for the cards in this set, reprint or not. We hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe and turn that bell notification on so you don't miss any of our other videos coming up. But thank you for watching. It's been BMF Radio. My name is Frankie.
I'm Billy.
And I'm Manny.
Have a good night, guys.
Peace.